Okay, everyone, consider this a channel PSA. If you care about the overall direction of the channel, you should probably stick around for this, but if not, you just want to skip to the episode, skip to the time on the screen right now, and we will get the, World Series recap and all that fun stuff underway. But anyways, for you guys that are going to hear me right now, I may sound a little bit different. This is because my microphone broke now. That's not in itself a very sad thing. It was only like $20. And I'm using my iPhone right now, and I think the iPhone actually does an alright job. It's not really that much better or worse than the mic in the first place. But what is important is sort of my position in life right now, and that is to make things simple. I will be moving continents back to the United States in the middle of July, and before that, I will spend 2 weeks backpacking through Europe. So that'll be excellent for me. But it does mean that uploads will essentially be on a break. So once I get back to the United States, I get settled, I'll move. I've got I'm working on finding a job right now, but once I get nice and settled, I would like to, obviously get back to the channel and do another Out of the Park series. So when you guys hear that, I know you guys are thinking, what, is the White Sox series over? No, it's not over. I have plans for it. They're just maybe not quite what you guys are imagining. But yes, those are two things to keep in mind. Sorry. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And one more thing is that I will be, between now and the backpacking trip, working on recreating this 2022 Chicago White Sox team within the game Super Mega Baseball 2. So even if you don't have much of a vested interest in that game, I would recommend checking out those videos as they come out, because I think it's a cool way to memorialize what we have put together with this White Sox team with so many great, memorable players. So just to review, Mike broke, life happening, and Super Mega Baseball 2 White Sox, but also this isn't the end. I'm sure of that. One thing I like about this channel is that I have a great audience. You guys that follow this game are all really awesome, and I'm sure you'll be very, understanding, and I'm glad that I can, talk to you guys as adults, so to say. So that's it. That's my spiel. And let's go ahead and get this episode underway, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Let's Play Out of the Park Baseball 19. This is our World Series celebration, and in order to do that, we'll be looking back at the journeys of some of our individual players, some of the very key ones, as well as how that culminated in a amazing 2022 playoff run. So for those of you who maybe did not watch the PSA, the most important takeaway for this episode will be that my microphone broke, so I'm doing this on my iPhone, voice recording wise, but I will be using plenty of older clips from previous episodes, so it shouldn't be that bad. Anyways, so what we're going to be doing is taking a look back, and the reason I am doing this way is I will give you a little bit of an origin story. So in 1995, the Atlanta Braves won the World Series, and I was about 2 months old. I was there, presumably in front of the television with my mother. She tells me that, but I'm not sure if I believe her. I was only 2 months old. I can't remember a damn thing. So the way I experienced the 1995 Atlanta Braves was through a VHS tape we had that sort of, does what this episode is trying to do today. It talked about, some of the previous 90s teams, some playoff disappointments, and some of these individual players and their sort of character arcs, so to say, and how it all culminated in a 1995 World Series championship against the Cleveland Indians. So today we're going to be doing that. And much like how I experienced the 1995 Braves as a young child with a VHS tape, I still think they make those today, by the way. I still think, I don't know if you order it from Sports Illustrated or what, but it seems like a dated format now. But I feel like if your team wins the Super Bowl or something, you can still buy the DVD or whatever with all the great moments. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And we're going to get started by looking at our leadoff hitter. We're not going to do every player, of course. We only have so much time. But first guy we're going to look at is Blaze Alexander, and I absolutely love Blaze Alexander. He's been one of my favorites in this series, just because he was a 9th round draft pick. So that means I don't even have the clip of me drafting him because I only show the first 5 rounds. So, but a clip that I do have to show you guys is my first time discovering him within my minor league system, just kind of clicking around saying, hey, you know, this guy has interesting ratings. I'll add him to the short list, you know. So let's go ahead and roll with that clip. All right, so good to be able to at least call attention to them. In fact, one more player that I will highlight is 9th round pick Blaze Alexander, who very poor gap power, very poor home run power. Like to see, hopefully at least gap power maybe have some improvement, but that 60 contact potential, 60 eye potential, 55 avoid case potential, combined with good speed and potentially very good defense, it looks like he would be a very good shortstop for us. Could be a very sort of good prototypical leadoff guy if he were able to fully reach his potential, someone who can get on base at a very high clip. So yeah, so he is also going to be added to the list of people we'll be keeping an eye on, and that's good news, you know, for a 9th round pick. What's really cool about that clip is even from the beginning, I was sort of keyed into his potential. This isn't me bragging, but I like how I said, you know, this guy could be a leadoff hitter if a lot of things start to go his way, and they did. He was our leadoff hitter for the majority of our championship team in 2022. On base percentage near 400, 5-1 season. So excellent stuff. Let's go ahead and show his journey through the minor league system real quick. Don't believe any of these rookie ball players will have started their years yet. Blaze Alexander is off to a very solid start in A-ball. I must say he's jonesing for a promotion right now. I'm not going to quite give it to him, but he is doing the thing where you get on base, and that's what he's kind of all about. His eye has actually improved. This is a guy I'm really excited about for a 9th round pick. We'll just see what he can do, but my guy Blaze Alexander, he is just doing his OBP thing. He's picked up the hitting some. I think AAA, it's time for AAA for him. And yeah, who knows, probably, you know, could be starting shortstop next year for us. He's still just 21 years old. He's just turned 21. All right, everyone, we are here with the next little bit of news. It is April 20th, and to celebrate 420th on the roster, we are going to blaze it and promote Blaze Alexander to the big leagues. So congratulations to him. He is just the 2nd drafted player we've seen make the bigs behind Shea Langoliers, and I'm going to go ahead and set him up as the leadoff hitter in the lineup, and we'll just see sort of how he does. Excellent. And then the way I'm going to wrap this whole, you know, sort of player profile up is we are going to do a check-in on him in real life. So in real life, very exciting news for Blaze Alexander. He was just drafted. So he was an 11th round selection by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he signed with them. So he's now within their organization. So Blaze Alexander, congratulations to you in real life. I hope you can make your way through the minor league system in real life, just as you have in this video game. And if you probably don't know it, but there's a small collection of people right here on this YouTube community who I'm sure will be cheering you on. The next player we're taking a look at is undoubtedly one of the biggest stars of this series, and that is Blake Rutherford. 25 years old now here in 2022. You look at that contract, we still have him aboard for 5 more years, so that's excellent news. One of those guys, you know, you can look forward to seeing in a White Sox uniform for an extended period of time. He led the league in hits last year, and runs, and plate appearances. He just does everything well. He plays center field. He hits, 27 home runs a year. He gets on base. He's just all around just a monster player for us. So let's go ahead and do a quick montage of him coming through the minor league system and becoming the player he is today, because he started this career mode in this save, I should say, in A+ ball. As Blake Rutherford, center field prospect. Blake Rutherford is hot. he's hot, and his projections, ratings-wise, are still looking good. He's playing very well.
That's good. Rutherford, who I talked about, he's jockeying for a position. By the time I cut to the All-Star break, he could very well be on the team. It just depends on how a few things end up with Jimenez and Souza. Those are the guys that are kind of in his way right now. And also Almora, too. His range has gone up insane. Wow, it's a lot higher than... I feel like it was like 65 or something. This is a guy, I thought he was more of a corner outfield type. Nope, he's a legit center fielder, and that really helps his case a lot, because that means he's going to be playing a premium position. That's tricky. I don't know what I'm going to do with this Almora situation, and that maybe means Almora gets moved at the deadline. For example, there's a lot of ways to interpret this new information, but that's really cool. Happy to have Blake Rutherford in the system, and actually, you can see he did debut. Reyes had his injury, and we brought him up, and he did actually quite well, but we still wanted to give him a little bit more time in AAA. This was just more of a cup of coffee just to see, and his limitations. Rutherford's on fire. Rutherford's 128 OPS plus. He's picking up right where he left off, and in fact, he's been even better. He's on pace for 38 stolen bases and only 3 caught stealings, which is amazing. This guy, this defense is on point. He gets on base, he hits for average, he hits for enough power. Like, what's not to love? This guy's pretty much a perfect ball player.
What an interesting journey that is for Blake Rutherford. It's interesting because I feel like Jimenez is the more highly regarded prospect in real life, but in this game, Rutherford has definitely surpassed him in terms of skill. So, in real life, Blake Rutherford was named the 90th best prospect in baseball, according to Baseball Prospectus. He's unranked on Baseball America, which is interesting. So, he is slashing 291, 335, 447 in 53 games with Winston-Salem. That is the A-plus affiliate. So, he may get promoted at some point this year in 2018, but it looks like he's playing quite well. So we're going to be wishing him success, and hopefully he can get up to the majors pretty quickly. Ian Happ has given us 2 very solid years with the White Sox, and I think more importantly, some very clutch moments in this postseason that we will see later. He came through us through a trade, and we can go ahead and click on the History tab and see that trade. We traded Gregory Soto and Carson Fulmer for him. So Fulmer, actually, wow, look at Fulmer. Look at Fulmer. He figured out pitching. Wow, good for him. Okay, well, that's going to be a win-win, I guess. But interestingly enough, that was the trade to the Chicago Cubs. And then they, I guess, flipped him. Interesting. So KC is where he's figured out pitching. Wow. Did not know that. I wonder how Gregory Soto's doing. Okay, he was a starter for us. Now he's a reliever for the Cubs. He's very high rated. I don't know why I never thought about making him a reliever. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But anyways, maybe more middling with them. Not a bad year, though, I don't think. Soto and Fulmer, and we got Ian Happ in return. We can go ahead and roll that clip.
Let him go as well, and we're going to be able to acquire Ian Happ, which is awesome. I think he's going to slot into either right or left field for us. I think probably left field, might switch Jimenez to right field. And that's going to add a powerful bat to the lineup. So I'm willing to exchange these arms in order to get Ian Happ. So we are going to do it. So the trade has been made, and Ian Happ is our man.
He's become a very solid player for us, our right fielder these past 2 seasons. Not a star, but he's doing his thing. But someone who is probably a star is Yoan Moncada. Yoan Moncada right now, very exciting player in real life for sure as a prospect. In game right now, he's 27 years old. He has racked up some fantastic years. He's probably due to, I don't know why, but he just has not made an all-star game, even though he's got, these accolades. Going from like a silver slugger. He's got, seasons with 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins. So that's no fault of his own, but he has become a monster for us in this save. He was already kind of well on his way as we booted things up. He was already in the majors. He's a former number 1 prospect. But as far as real life, let's go ahead and check in on him. Okay, looking at real life right here, he actually had, a very good start to the year, but he may be slowing down. So, slashing 228, 300, 414 right now for a 97 OPS plus, 23 years old in 2018 now. as the White Sox primary second baseman. I really believe this guy is going to be a very good player for them for quite some time. And even though this isn't the most amazing start to his 2018, it's still pretty solid. And it's actually mirrors a lot of the numbers that he put up for us in 2018. He finished that year with 97 OPS plus. So, but obviously that was in a much bigger offensive environment, as you can see from these numbers. But Yoan Moncada, definitely a cool, interesting player. And we're glad to have him locked up under contract still for another 4 years. Nolan Arenado, not a guy I'm going to expound upon too much. What more is there to say? He's a monster player in real life, and after a very disappointing 2021 end of season to us when we acquired a struggling Arenado at the trade deadline, he came out in 2022 and put up a close to MVP caliber season. It only adds to his accolades more. As you can see, this guy is on his way to that Hall of Fame career, despite a little bump in the road there in 2021. He's an amazing player in real life, amazing defender, solid enough hitter too. And we are going to just check in on his numbers real quick. I don't think there's going to be anything too shocking revealed. Yep, just Nolan Arenado type numbers. He's batting .305, OBP .399, slugging .532, 136 OPS plus. Well on his way to another all-star type season. He's a fantastic player. How we went about acquiring Arenado was through a big-time blockbuster trade, so we can go ahead and check in on that. We sent away Max Fried, who has, still put up some pretty solid numbers for them in Colorado. He was fragile, that was why we traded him. Dansby Swanson was also traded there. He maybe not the most exciting numbers put up in Colorado, so that might have done some good for us. And then another really interesting one is Steele Walker. And the reason I'm interested in Steele Walker is because he was just drafted by the White Sox in real life in the second round. So the big irony of that is that I traded Steele Walker because I was like, well, people want to see White Sox players when they watch a White Sox Let's Play. So his competition was Eloy Jimenez, right? So I was like, well, if people, click on a White Sox Let's Play for OOTP, they're going to want to see Eloy Jimenez. They don't want to see Steele Walker. Well, now they might want to see Steele Walker because he is, in fact, a member of the White Sox organization in real life, which is hilarious to me now. But anyways, 2022, his first real full season, 3-win season. He hit really well. He batted .314. I always knew he was going to be good. I just couldn't find a place for him in the organization and at the major league level. So I'm glad that he is getting his shine on. But I'm also glad to have Nolan Arenado because I feel like he was definitely instrumental for this team. Let's go ahead and show that trade clip real quick.
Up. So I think the question is now, who is this player that we are going to be acquiring at the trade deadline? So let's go ahead and reveal that. Yep. Now, you're probably a little more excited now, aren't you? I know I am. Arenado, his ratings have come down a bit. And he still has that big fat contract. That's not really an issue because we are going to get the Rockies to cover 80%. But it's just a really exciting move, and it just adds another star player or another star potential player to the team at a position where we didn't quite have one. So he's only 89 OPS plus for this year, but the way I see it, we'll have 3 more years it'll be 2 more years of Arenado after this, and that's sort of like our window right now, I feel like. So we're gonna go for this. This is a trade that's gonna, I think, immediately make the team better, at least for our prospects in the next couple years. And I really wanted to get a championship, and I feel like Nolan Arenado is a player that can help us win a championship. So we're gonna go ahead and make this trade at the deadline. And then I think I will see you guys at the end of the season, but if something else comes up, I will, sort of hop back in and update you guys on what's going on. But yes, this is our big trade deadline move, and it's certainly a risky one. We're giving up a lot of guys who are young and have plenty of years of team control for 3 years of 2 years and a fraction of a declining player. It's Nolan Arenado, and it's hard to turn down an opportunity to trade for Nolan Arenado. So. Let's do it.
that was certainly a big-time trade. Now, a very interesting player is Gavin Sheets right now. Gavin Sheets, he is a member of the White Sox system in real life, but in this game, he's taken a very interesting journey to where he is today. So you look at his numbers, he's given us very solid play these last 2 years. He did miss about half the season with injury, but he continues to hit well. He hits home runs at a very solid clip. He's not a star by any means, but he is a very useful player. And the reason that he's interesting is that he was actually traded to us and then back to us. So I believe the first trade we made was a Tim Anderson salary dump. And the way we went about doing that was to throw in a guy like Shields, a prospect with some legitimate potential. And in exchange, we got Victor Reyes, who you may remember, and Gregory Soto, the aforementioned from a previous trade. You may remember his All-Star season with us that came completely out of nowhere. After that, we got him back in a trade alongside Daniel Norris. Daniel Norris was pretty key for us for a couple years there. And then, so we had to send away Craig Adidolo and Juan Montoya, who was a pretty exciting prospect at the time, and actually looks to be still a very exciting prospect now. So Gavin Sheets, he's taken quite the journey with us. So let's go ahead and take a look at those clips real quick.
And in addition to getting Norris, we're also going to get back our old friend Gavin Sheets, who I originally traded away in 2018. And I see Sheets as not too far away from what Montoya could achieve already, so that's kind of the appeal in him right now. So yeah, we're going to try to make this trade. Well, I mean, we're not going to try to make this trade, we're going to do it. And our assistant GM isn't too happy with us, so maybe I'll get them to throw in somebody if I can. Alright guys, I tried a little more negotiating, but I think we're just going to go with that original trade. So Daniel Norris, welcome to Chicago.
Okay, and as for the real-life check-in, Gavin Sheets is also an A-plus ball, so alongside Blake Rutherford in Winston-Salem. He is slashing 250, 359, 364, so getting on base for sure, that's excellent, but the power maybe not quite yet to develop. He has become, a 30-plus home run hitter for us in this game. Whether he can do that in real life, we are yet to see, but we are for sure going to be cheering him on. Go ahead, Gavin Sheets. But still, I think a solid year for him so far in 2018. Hopefully he can start to hit some dingers. All right, next up we have Eloy Jimenez. Eloy Jimenez, our left fielder. He's an interesting case, I think, because this is a very, I think, reasonable projection of the player he could become, looking at his 2021 and 2022. The raw power is there for sure. It's there in spades. I think as far as power hitting prospects in baseball right now, he might be the number one in terms of just raw power. That's my opinion. But 39 home runs in consecutive years, but maybe not the most complete hitter otherwise. Just that OBP is just a tick above average. And OPS pluses of 126 and 115 are good, but they're not. You're not going to win an MVP award anytime soon with those numbers. So he's an extremely hyped prospect in real life right now. Let's go ahead and look at his clips, and because he's had kind of a tumultuous journey. It took him a while to get going in this safe. So let's go ahead and see his journey through a few clips.
Eloy Jimenez was acquired in the Quintana deal last year from the Cubs. He's a big power hitting outfield prospect. Eloy is holding his own at AA, which is fantastic, and he could find himself in AAA. I think probably it's about time for him to move up. This guy could be in the majors before we know it, and I'm really excited to have him. He is going to hopefully really light it up and be a big deal for us for a long time. Jimenez is up. He is struggling, but I'm looking at his numbers right here. His BABIP is low, but even then, very much struggling. Incidentally enough, Rutherford's still doing pretty good in AAA, so it's quite possible that Rutherford could take Jimenez's spot in the lineup for now. Jimenez is starting to do it, guys, and it's not pretty. Like 295 OBP isn't pretty. 257 batting average isn't pretty, but what is pretty is a slugging percentage that starts with the number 5. And what's also pretty is also being on pace for 40 plus home runs. So
as you can see, it really took him until about halfway through 2021 to kind of figure things out at the major league level, but he hits a lot of home runs, that's for sure. In real life, however, Jimenez is probably a guy with higher expectations than what he's accomplished in games. He is the number 6 prospect according to Baseball Prospectus, and number 4 according to Baseball America. So he's an extremely hyped prospect in real life for those not aware. Currently in AA at age 21, he is slashing .315, .364, .558 with 10 home runs in 50 games already. So he's really flashing that power, I would have to say. And I think the White Sox are thinking his timetable is going to be a bit quicker in real life than the timetable he took in this game. This could be a guy that's a starting regular everyday player, playing well by 2019, So it's all about perspective, and it's been interesting following Jimenez's journey through this game, but in real life, I think he may, in fact, have a more interesting journey. So let's move on to our next player. Our next player is the great Willie Calhoun. Willie Calhoun just keeps mashing homers. He slowed down a bit in 2022. He's kind of taken an interesting path with us where we played him at first base, and then we moved him to DH. So he wasn't a bad first baseman, but we did acquire Sheets. Sheets got going, and we said, okay, Sheets first base, Calhoun DH. That's how we're going to do things. In real life, another really interesting prospect, mostly due to the fact that he has this insane talent with the bat, but not so much in the field. So that's very well reflected in this game, I would say. You look at what he's become. He's made 2 All-Star games. He hits, 44, 41, 35 home runs. He's awesome. He's a great player for us. And he was acquired through trade. So we are going to take a look at that. The trade was Kyle Freeland, Michael Basica, and Javier Betancourt. So Basica, he was a prospect at the time. Now he has made the majors with the the Rangers as a relief pitcher. And then Freeland is also still with the Rangers, also being used as a relief pitcher. A weird long reliever with 77 appearances, 115 innings pitched, only 8 games started. So, but pretty bad numbers. So we're happy to have Calhoun in that case. We can go ahead and roll that clip.
And I will be trading 3 of them, and I will be receiving left fielder Willie Calhoun. Oh, he of great offense and not so great defense, but I have a funny plan for him. I would actually like to try to teach him to be a first baseman. He will be our 5'8" first baseman. So that's what I'm going to try to do with him. And we'll see if that experiment works, but we will see in 2019. Sorry, not 2019. We'll see in 2020.
Okay, and as for real life, Calhoun was rated the 43 best prospect in baseball by Prospectus, 36th by Baseball America, and he did actually get a small cup of coffee in 2017, in September, I believe, but in 2018, he's played the whole year in AAA Round Rock for the Rangers. He's hitting pretty well, I would say, 280, 328, 424. If he can get those numbers up just a bit more, I'm sure he'll be back in the majors, and we'll definitely be rooting him on. He has some very good bat talent, and it's just, I think, a matter of where is he going to play in the field. Excellent. And finally, to wrap things up, was probably our big draft heist, Shea Langolier's second overall pick for us in 2019, and he has very quickly asserted himself as I predicted at one point, mind you, the best catcher in baseball. A 6-win season for him with 35 home runs, 143 OPS plus. Just, he's become a monster player because his defense at catcher is also extremely good. So he is a complete beast. I'm looking forward to seeing how his career unfolds. I feel like if I'm looking at the whole team right now, I feel like he, as much as anyone, it's probably him and maybe Rutherford, who have the shot of like, hey, this guy could actually be a Hall of Famer. So, and we will find out. I do believe we will find out. So it's going to be really cool. Shea Langoliers, let's take a look back at his journey through the minor league system. It was a pretty quick one.
And we'll be picking second. One thing to keep in mind is our budget is low, so I will be trying to make sure I get guys at slot or below. I'm not going to shell out a lot of money for expensive prospects who have big demands. So let's go for it. Alright guys, this first pick is going to be Shea Langoliers, the catcher out of Baylor. Not the typical pick I would make because his work ethic is only normal, but I can overlook that because he is a college player, so his sort of general floor and chances of succeeding are a little bit higher. Because of this, He's just the best player in the draft class. There's really not much of a way around it. A really good hitting and really good fielding catcher. Hard to come up with any sort of criticism besides not having a high work ethic. So, and also he just wants a slap. So that's pretty key. So we are going to go with Langoliers, and he will be our first pick, and he will be drafted second overall in this draft. So I will see you in round 2. And another position where we already kind of have a solid stopgap is catcher, because we'll have Castro on the last year of his 2-year deal that we originally signed him to. But Langoliers he's really knocking on that door too. I mean, this guy looks like he's going to be absolutely incredible. He's got 65 home run power already, and he plays a really good defensive catcher. Like, there's really no weakness to this guy's game at all, and I think the sky really is the limit. This is a guy who easily, 3 years from now could be the best catcher in the majors. So we'll start the year in AAA. He hit pretty well at between A ball and AA last year, and just he's another guy who's just getting reared up and ready to go. So because we are going to be calling up Shea Langoliers. Now, he's had only 100 plate appearances at AAA, but he's raking, and it's clear to me that he is ready. He was our number 2 overall pick in 2019, and now he's making his debut in May 2021. So he pretty much rocketed straight through the minors, and he's awesome, and he's going to be our everyday catcher. So welcome to the bigs, Shea.
Okay, and in real life, Shea Langoliers is a catcher for Baylor, a sophomore. His 2018 has been pretty solid, but maybe not quite as good as his 2017 freshman year was. He does have quite a bit of buzz as a major league prospect, so once again, another guy we will be following very closely in real life. So Shea Langoliers, definitely a big-time player for us. It's hard to come and find a good catcher in OOTP sometimes, so and he has been that for us in spades. So that wraps up our hitters. Let's move on to our pitchers. Alrighty, first pitcher we are going to key in on is our ace, Jorge Ruiz. And one reason I'm so fascinated by this guy is because he's basically a nobody non-prospect in real life. That's not to say he couldn't make the majors, he could, but there's really very little to no hype surrounding him. But in game, he's become a monster, and let's go ahead and look at that first trade in the history tab that we used to acquire him. We also received Grant Holmes in that trade. He hasn't become too much for us, but Nolan Fontana was sent away, Marco Martinez, who is a prospect, Jose Murillo Garcia, and finally Nate Nolan, who is retired, so he's already quit. He was another young guy, catching prospect for us.
In return, we are getting Grant Holmes, who is currently a relief pitcher for the Oakland Athletics. He pitched 11 innings last year. Not too much to say about him, but he will be a young cost-controlled pitcher. Perhaps more exciting is Jorge Ruiz, and I'm really intrigued by this guy for a couple of reasons. I would say really thinks he has a lot more growing room. I don't think he does because he is 25 already, but even then, I feel like his ratings are still solid. And if he could get his control up, to 55 control, he'd have 55 and 55 stuff. He's got a decent repertoire of plus pitches here. And he does have high work ethic too. But what's very important is that he is a very popular guy, and he is nationally extremely popular and locally extremely popular. So that'll kind of help get fans in the seats. I don't know why he's such a popular guy, but it's cool that he is. He is sort of the main prize of the deal, and it took a lot of negotiating for me to come across this combination of players that got them to accept. But I'm glad that they will, and I imagine Ruiz will get a crack in the rotation to start 2020. So that will be our first trade of this episode.
So that was definitely a big-time fleecing, and what happened there was our scouts actually saw something that no one else seemed to see with him. So you can see he's turned into this absolutely monster pitcher for us. He's made 2 All-Star games. He, just continues to pitch extremely well, and he had some big-time moments in the playoffs too this year that we will get to. So Now comes the fun part. We are going to check in with Reese in real life, and because he's such an interesting sort of nobody, this is going to be really fun. Norhe Reese in real life. He is, how old is he now? He's 24 years old. He has made his way up to AA, okay. 4.4 ERA within the Oakland A's organization. So, he may still have a future in the majors at some point, but I mean, a 24-year-old in AA who's not exactly tearing it up, it just sort of goes to show, guys can come from nowhere sometimes and become these amazing players, and that'll happen in real life as well. Dustin Pedroia, the year before he won Rookie of the Year, he was snubbed on a lot of top 100 prospect lists. He wasn't even featured on them. He won Rookie of the Year, and the year after that, he won MVP. So that's a very sort of exaggerated example, but these things can really happen, and guys can be late bloomers, or guys can not fit the mold. So that's what's happened to Reese in this save for sure, and maybe it'll happen to him in real life. Who knows? Next pitcher we're looking at is Adbert Alzolay. He's kind of been Reese's partner in crime these past couple of years within the rotation. Not quite the talent that Reese is, but he's given us some very solid numbers back-to-back years. He did miss some time in 2022, sadly, but continues to give us that ERA plus above 100. All that good stuff we love. Very solid pitcher for us. If there's any weakness, I guess it's the home runs. He came through us in what was a big-time trade. That was when we first acquired Steele Walker, as well as Cody Deason. We gave away Zach Birdie, Garrett Frechette, Axel Alexo, who was the guy I was saddest to give away. I still think he's going to turn into a pretty monster player in this save. And then Guerrero, who was just kind of a throw-in. So we can go ahead and roll that clip real quick.
In return, we are trading with the Cubs as our trade partner. We are getting, I believe, I'm going to say Adbert. That's going to be that first name. Alzolay, it's going to be my guess on that, his last name. I'm going to say Adbert Alzolay. I really like this guy's ratings. He doesn't really have a weakness as far as his stuff, movement, and control go. He's got a repertoire that's good enough to compete. I like that he is a fan fave because we're still trying to get, butts in the seats to get our money up. The fact that he's a fly ball pitcher, I don't love. But apart from that, looks really solid. He, how many years of service time does he have? Is he over 1 year yet? I'll take a look at that. No, he still hasn't accrued even a year of service time yet, which is good. So that means he has plenty of, that's in, a really good amount of team control left. And with our rotation, how it is, I feel like just adding another starting pitcher is going to really shore things up. And then we are also adding Cody Deason. This guy would become probably our most complete pitching prospect that we've had in this series, and that's great too to get a guy who really has potential to be maybe a number 2 starter or even number 1 starter for us. And he's come along quite well. He's about to turn 23, but he's probably ready for AAA. So he's not that far away from potentially being in the majors. And the other guy we're getting is this really intriguing guy. He was the Cubs' first-round pick in 2018. His name is Steele Walker, and he's maybe a little bit like Alexo already, like what Alexo would be like if he was completed. Alexo would have a bit more power, but apart from that, Walker, they both have that insane ability to get on base. They both have really good gap power, and I think Walker has been kind of mishandled by the Cubs. They've taken him through the minor leagues way too slowly. This guy should have been maybe even in the majors last year, if not in AAA, and he hasn't even touched AAA yet. So I think he probably started a season in AAA for us, and if Jimenez, just for whatever reason, if he can't get it together, I think what we'll do is we'll trade Jimenez and we'll bring up Walker, because I really do believe in Walker as a major league player with these ratings. OSA doesn't think he's quite as good, but I'm going to go with my scout in this one and hope that my scout is closer to reality than OSA is. So yeah, this is the big time trade we're making, and I know Birdie's probably got to be pretty popular. No, he's just fair popular. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it, and that will be a pretty big time trade for us.
That was a big time move for sure, with a lot of implications for the team. especially when you consider Walker's role in the Arenado trade as well. Anyways, pre-2018, Alzolay was actually ranked as the 95th best prospect in baseball by Prospectus. He was unranked by America. But anyways, 39 innings pitched so far in 2018 in AAA Iowa. After only 32 innings pitched in AA last year, so the Cubs really working him through the system quickly. 4.7 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. Not the craziest numbers, but he's looking like he's going to be a guy who has major league potential. So excited to see that. I didn't know he was actually that good of a pitcher in real life. So pay attention to him. You may see him in the majors within the next year or two. So Adbear, great pitcher for us in game, and hopefully he can become a good one in real life as well. Okay, and finally these next two I'm going to group up just because they came for us in the same trade. One of them is Nick Wells, and the other one is James Paxton. So we're starting with Wells because Wells had such a great year for us. His first his second full year of, it's like his third full year of pitching. He pitched a lot more than I thought. So 2019, he pitched 131 innings. He was good. 2021, he wasn't good. And then 2022, he comes to us, and guess what? He's an all-star, baby. 150 innings pitched, 3.46 ERA, 147 OPS plus, 4 wins, good periffs. He was definitely a big-time player for us, and we needed a lefty within the rotation. In fact, we needed multiple. So it was him and Paxton. We traded away Engel Vielma, who I was actually really sad to trade away because I thought he was such a very good player. Perfect utility player, but he deserved to start. And with Seattle, a very good year, 344 OBP, 2.8 wins above replacement, thanks to what is undoubtedly close to gold glove quality defense. So I was sad to see him go. Gambrell, he just never. Oh, actually, wow, his ratings have come up a bit, so maybe he does have some potential as a prospect. Okay, Seattle, I see you. Dillard, I thought was going to be very good, and you can see he's made the major and started to fulfill his expectations. A 2-win rookie year, that's definitely nothing to scoff at. Ricardo Sanchez also went in that deal. Not a great season in Seattle for him. And then Sonny Gray, he's injured himself. Okay. So he didn't even get to pitch for Seattle. Wow. What a bummer that is. So that's a very interesting trade for sure. Obviously that could be a win-win still for the Mariners because Paxton, they needed to dump a little bit of salary on him. And then they've got these collection of young, cost-controlled players for him. So that could be a win-win. That may not be a fleecing like the Ruiz trade. Let's go ahead and look at Paxton real quick, too. Paxton had some monster moments in the postseason, as we will see. But yeah, 4.7 pitcher WAR. That's the most F WAR in the league. And then 185 innings pitched, kept that ERA under 4, which is pretty good in the AL, considering the run atmosphere right now. 129 ERA plus. So yeah, he's awesome in real life as well. Let's go ahead and check in for our real life update on those two players real quick. Okay, so James Paxton is picking up right where he's left off the past couple seasons. At this point, he has now asserted himself as being, one of the best, certainly one of the better aces in all of baseball for the Seattle Mariners. His numbers are great: 3 ERA, 2.79 FIP. He has 2 complete games, and one of which was a no-hitter that he threw. I guess that was probably last month, maybe I can't remember if it was in April or May, but I remember it. So that's awesome. The Big Maple is a monster pitcher in real life. Nick Wells, a different story. Let's check in on him. Okay, it took me a bit of time to find Nick Wells, actually. That's interesting, but I did find him. He is within the Mariners minor league system. He is a 22-year-old in A-ball. He's thrown 68 innings, and his ERA is 4.2, so that's not so bad. I look at his peripherals right now. Strikeouts, solid. I think walks could those could come down a bit, but home run suppression's there. So Nick Wells, maybe he'll do a little late blooming. He's certainly not on the minds of too many Mariners fans right now, but could just be a guy to keep an eye on. Who knows? All right, that is going to wrap things up for our player portion. Now let's take a look at some of our previous sort of playoff disappointments and the roles that they played in making us prepare for 2022. 2020 was the first year we made the playoffs. We won 98 games after a monster second half. And what happened was unfortunately an ALDS loss. So let's go ahead and look at those clips real quick.
Top of the ninth, guys. We need 3 runs here. And if we can't get it, then season's over for us. Either way, it's been a hell of a season. And hopefully we can get back to the playoffs next year no matter what. It's going to be a strikeout for Canely to start it off. Maldonado now. He strikes out. And just like that, we are down to our last out. Blake Rutherford, 0-2 pitch. He strikes out. So Tommy Canely, ice in the veins, takes care of it. Yankees will advance. They are your ALDS winners, 3-1 in the series. I just think for this team right now, they weren't quite ready. They didn't quite have the playoff experience. The injuries to Hicks, Simmons, and of course Steven Matz at the beginning of the year meant we came in kind of limping as far as injuries go. So yeah, looking forward to improving the team in the offseason. I think now we have certainly won enough to appease our owner, so we don't have to worry about getting fired or anything anytime soon, and maybe we'll have a bigger budget to work with and, grab a free agent or two. So looking forward to get the off-season started in the next episode. Sorry I couldn't get any further for you guys, but trust me, I think we'll be back. And
of course, after that, we were looking to build, so we came in 2021 with some very high expectations, and we won 100-plus games. We felt like we were the best team, and then, once again, we got to the ALDS, and we will see what happened then.
Connor Capel sends it high and deep, and if there was any doubt that we weren't going to get it, there it is. There it is, boys. 7-0 lead for Cleveland in this crucial elimination game. You know what, boys? It was certainly a very good season, but when it ends like this, it doesn't matter how many games you win. Jimenez at the plate. Allen to try to close things out. And we need 7. It's going to be a line out to third. Now it's Gavin Sheets. Gavin Sheets grounds out to short. Alright, let's make this quick. Who's up next? Arenado. Arenado grounds out to the pitcher, and thus ends your 2021. Wow. It's an awful feeling. It's an awful feeling.
We got to the ALDS once again with the real curse to try to shake after back-to-back exits. And it was Shea Langoliers in Game 4 that allowed us to finally shake the demons off, and get our first playoff series win.
Willie Calhoun, he hit that one pretty well, but it would go straight to center field. So with 2 outs there, it is up to Langoliers. Langoliers hits it high, he hits it deep. It's our trusted boy. We drafted him 2nd overall, and now he's in the bigs, hitting extra innings, home runs in crucial elimination games. Shea Langoliers with a 2-out home run. I can't believe it. It is Tommy Joseph at the plate. Sandy Alcantara right now, staring him down. Tommy Joseph does represent the tying run, so a home run here would send the game to the 11th. But let's see what happens. Oh, it's high. It's deep. Stay in the park, ball. Stay in the park. It's caught at the track by Ian Happ, and the White Sox have finally won a playoff series.
The ALCS was also a pretty interesting one with a lot of close games. I would best characterize it with a lot of big-time pitching performances from Jorge Ruiz and James Paxton.
Now Paxton facing Machado. That is going to be a ground out to second base. So, how many pitches is he at? 95 pitches here. So, if Paxton can get Alvarez out in the next 4 pitches, he will have himself a Maddox. A Maddox is a complete game shutout with under 100 pitches. Let's see if he can do it. And that is going to be a ground out to Alvarez on the first pitch. So just like that, James Paxton with probably the best performance we've seen from any player this postseason, much less any pitcher. James Paxton right here. 96 pitches, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, complete game shutout. That's an 80 game score, and he's able to outduel Garrett Cole, who had a brilliant game as well. So that is an immense performance from James Paxton right there. We were only able to score from that first inning home run, so Paxton is certainly a hero for that one. Okay, bottom of the 9th here. Ruiz at only 85 pitches. We're going to let him face off against Fisher. Fisher now has grounded out to the second baseman, Moncada. So only 2 outs away now. Ruiz facing Machado. Machado is going to send a single up the middle. Alright, so that is going to bring up Alvarez to the plate. Alvarez, ooh, it's to the shortstop. Can we get this double play? Yes, we've done it! Chicago White Sox, they're going to be going back to the World Series for the first time since 2005. And they break the hearts of the Houston Astros. 5-2 is your final score. Here is a quick look at your box score. It is a complete game for Jorge Ruiz. He only allows 1 earned run actually because of the error that allowed Altuve to get on base in the first place. 95 pitches, just an amazing start from him. Both him and Paxton with some immense starts here at the tail end of this series.
And of course, that led us to the 2022 World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the key game in this series was undoubtedly Game 2. Game 2 involved a big-time comeback for us, and had we lost that game, we would have been down 2-0, headed back to Los Angeles. So Game 2 was a big-time turning point in the series, and let's go ahead and show some clips from that comeback.
So we move to the bottom of the 9th now. White Sox in need of at least 4 runs if they want to continue this game. Bottom of the 9th right here, it is Tony Gonsolin to lead things off against a team in need of a rally, and it's Blaze Alexander with the top of the order to start things off. And that is going to be a walk, a 4-pitch walk, mind you. So now that brings up Blake Rutherford, and they peg him. Rutherford is okay, so good start to this inning here. That brings up Yoan Moncada. Ooh, Moncada is going to hit this one pretty well. Get over the fence. Yes! Woohoo! Okay, we're still in this game. 1-run ball game now with no outs, just like that. Excellent stuff. They're going to bring in Blake Trainen now as the new pitcher. Oh, come on, we need to get this 1 run. We've come this far already. Eloy Jimenez now at the plate against Trainen. And bloop in, ball, bloop in, bloop in, bloop in. Yes, so your tying run is now aboard with no outs. This is great news. I think I have to decide. I'm heavily considering pinch running Maciel for Jimenez right now and trying to steal second. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. You know, it's the World Series. I've already fucked up 1 decision so far this game when I pulled Paxton early. So let's go ahead and sub in Maciel as your new pinch runner, and we're gonna try to steal second on Keibert Ruiz right now. Gotta live a little. He's off. He's safe. Oh my god, it was so close. It was so close. Oh my god, I almost had a heart attack. Okay, this is very exciting. Maciel on second now. The double play ball is taken away, and now it's Trainen to face Shea Langoliers. 2-0 count, and it's a 2-1 count, and Langoliers will pop out. So that is your first out of the inning. That brings up Nolan Arenado. Arenado hits this ball pretty well, but it's going to be straight to the center fielder. So Puig is under it. And just like that, we are down to our last out, and it's up to Ian Happ now to make the difference. Let's see what happens. Happ pulls this one through center, and that is going to tie the ball game. Oh my god. 5-5 your score now. The decision to pinch run Maciel and steal second looming huge on that play, right? So now it's up to Shea Langoliers, who he's definitely had big moments here in the playoffs so far, but this is a big ask for him, and he faces off against Alvarez with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th. About as high pressure of a situation as you can get, and so I'm just crossing my fingers and hitting the spacebar right here. Langoliers, will that get through? Yes, it will. Rounding second. Rounding third. Oh my god, Rutherford is home. We've tied it up again somehow. Ian Happ will hit this one pretty well. It may drop in for a double, actually. Yes, it will. So there's Ian Happ with a leadoff double. That's big. He is the potential game-winning run here in the 11th inning. So Gavin Sheets now to face off against Sean Burke. He sends this single through. Now I have kind of the decision making. Nope, no decision making needed. Hap coming home. We have won game 2. It's a miracle, all things considered, but we take game 2 and we tie this series up, and that feels like a big turning point in the series as we head to Los Angeles for the next stretch. We needed that win really bad. We didn't want to be 2-0 down headed to LA.
It wouldn't be too long until we had some more late inning heroics. And the following game, game 3, thanks to some big time plays by Ian Happ, we were able to take control of the series 2-1.
Ian Happ now with 1 out. Ooh, Happ gets a good piece of this one as well. I see Maciel's off to run, so that makes me think that it is a home run. And that is a huge home run by Ian Happ right there. 5-3 now your score, and now we have sort of the cushion we need to hopefully close this thing out. Seager is going to rip this one, and that looks like it's going to be out of here. Yes, it will be. So just like that, 1-run ball game, and I'm going to bring in Adams here to face off against Bellinger. So this is the huge kind of moment in the game. 2 outs. Spencer Adams facing Cody Bellinger. That's a strikeout. We win it. 2-1 lead now in this series.
We would go on to split games, and that led us to a big-time Game 6 in Chicago. And it wasn't easy because we did have a lead, and we sadly blew it.
2 runners on, 1 out here in the 8th, facing Keibert Ruiz. Runners both going, and Langoliers, they both managed to steal, so that makes it runners on 2nd and 3rd. Still pitching to Ruiz, and that ball is going to pop 3 and score a run. So 2-1 your score now, and the tying run is on 3rd base, just like that. So Alcantara facing Ruiz, 1-2 pitch, and that is going to be a single. So here in the 8th inning, on the brink of the elimination, the Dodgers have tied the game up at 2.
As you can imagine, we were feeling a bit down on ourselves, but we went into extras, we fought through a few innings, and then finally, to break things open and win us the World Series, it was none other than this big-time franchise player, Yoan Moncada, to make things happen for us.
Bottom of the 11th here, not too many runs between these teams, but it's Rutherford here facing Gonsolin. And that's going to be a strikeout on a full count. Next up is Moncada. Moncada is going to rip this one to center field. Oh my goodness, can it get out? Can it get out? Yes, it will. The Chicago White Sox are World Series champions. Yoan Moncada has hit a walk-off home run straight away center field in Chicago. And just like that, we are World Series champions. And it's the young stud for the White Sox in real life right now, Yoan Moncada, your walk-off hero here in the World Series, Game 6.
And thus closes the book on the very successful 2022 Chicago White Sox. Thank you guys for following along with this series, particularly this season. It was a big time season for us. For those of you who maybe didn't quite watch the PSA, I will be taking a break for a few personal reasons, but I will be back again, and we will be able to tell whole new stories with the Chicago White Sox, and I am looking forward to it. But until then, thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and trust me, I will see you guys soon. Peace.